All right, we'll move to item number 11, the Medical Cannabis Selection Committee recommendations, and we'll have a report from City Manager.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. Bear with me. I'm going to kind of go through a brief couple of pages of staff report here and then turn it over to former council member Jeff Leonard for an update from the Medical Cannabis Selection Committee. As you all will recall, especially Council Member Atkins and Mayor Yeager, last August the Council adopted Chapter 158 of the Eureka Municipal Code establishing the medical cannabis ordinance for the City of Eureka. The medical cannabis ordinance specifies the requirements for cultivation, processing, and distributing medical cannabis within Eureka city limits. Pursuant to the ordinance, the establishment of a medical cannabis cultivation, processing, or distribution facility within the city requires a conditional use permit, and only those collectives, cooperatives who are invited by the City Council may submit an application for a conditional use permit. So with that, Mayor and Council, I would like to introduce the chair of the committee, Jeff Leonard, for a little background and explanation of the committee's work.
Thank you very much, Council, for your time. I would just start by adding a couple of notes to David's background piece. It's always important to look back to how this whole process got started. And I think there's really two things that we were trying to address at the time. First was find a way to attack illegal grow houses in residential neighborhoods in the city of Eureka. I'm sure you've been on the council now for several months. You've probably already received calls about this kind of a problem in our city. And there are a lot of problem grow houses. We created in the ordinance a restriction that says you cannot grow anything indoors, I don't care if it's tomatoes, potatoes, or marijuana, in a space larger than 50 square feet. Second little piece that kind of got us started was this state law that says you need to provide safe access for qualified medical cannabis patients. And on a side note, I know that when you say qualified medical cannabis patients, a lot of people snicker, a lot of people wink wink, a lot of people say, oh yeah, right. And there is no question that there is a recreational marijuana industry in this county, statewide, West Coast, national, wherever you want to look at it, it exists. And there's no question that that recreational marijuana industry is trying to weave its way into this medical cannabis law any way it possibly can. That's true. But let's also keep in mind that it is also true that there are legitimate patients, legitimate medical research, and legitimate medical opportunities in the future in terms of medical cannabis. So just because there are some people who are trying to bend this for their own personal purposes does not mean that the industry itself is not legitimate. And I think everyone on the committee realized that as a result of the interview process. We found out that, in fact, there are very sincere people working in this industry who are trying to do something good in our community.
Point, if there's anyone in the audience that would like to address this particular agenda item, would you please step forward and state your name?
Evening, I'm Richard Lytle. I'm a volunteer at HPRC up in Arcata. And it's a really wonderful facility. And they grow their own, and it's organic, and they don't sell any more once they run out. And they have a nice volunteering program for people like me who come in there and sign up and learn to grow and work in the industry. I find them just a wonderful group. They've been there 11 years. They sponsor a wellness center in Arcata that is a well-known facility. And I was a little surprised they weren't selected already, but I hope maybe they are reviewed again next go-around. They do have a lot of members, but they've been there 11 years. And they're very concerned about the medicine that they provide the community. It's all organic, no extra chemicals put into it. And there's a wide array of people who come who have to have very clean medicine for their conditions. And HPRC is very concerned about that. And I'm really proud to be part of that volunteer organization. I do hope you consider them for your further review next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicholas Bravo, Eureka. I do have a couple of questions. Number one, as far as why only 3, because as David Tyson has said, they have to go up for review, etc. So what if none of them are able to, or just one of them are able to fill out the forms correctly and have everything serviceable? You should at least have another 3 as backup in case these current 3 don't make it. As far as the safety issue, I understand where you're coming from on that. There is a very dark side to any drug, whether it's legal or illegal. But I think part of what will kill the black market marijuana trade, which is centered in Arcata, is to bring it out into the open and eventually start the slow process towards legalization, which California is going to have legalized marijuana, maybe not this decade, maybe not in 20 years, but it's going to be coming pretty soon. And I think if we pull it out into the light and we show the issue for what it is, stop being scared of it, actually make some money, because all the taxes that those marijuana patients are going to be paying, they could pay for that pool that we want to put. I mean, it just makes logical economic sense. I would also like to mention that part of the necessity of basically creating an atmosphere where it's legal is that we destroy the black market marijuana trade. Because you can have 10 clinics, but if somebody's making a lot of money by having an illegal grow, you're not really doing anything different. What needs to happen is it needs to be brought out into the light. The illegal black market trade needs to be crushed. I know in Arcata there's a couple of grow places that, have medical marijuana patients, and all you basically have to do is walk in there and go, I need a card, and they'll give you one. And a lot of those places buy off cops, they buy off public officials. It's a really, really dark underworld they got going on in Arcata. And I don't want us here in Eureka to be ashamed and afraid of something that we can control if we just bring it out into the light and have intelligent, grown-up conversations about it. And I want to thank Melinda and Linda for being so open about their concerns with it, because that really helps move the process forward. Thank you.
Thank you.